All right, folks, here we go. Let's go ahead and get airborne. Apologize for that. Now we are airborne with what we want to be doing. So let me share my screen and get going. Yeah, just got done turning an airplane here. Hang on one second here. Let me show my screen. 1 second. Almost there. Stay on target. Feel like the dude attacking the Death Star. All right. Everybody's got my screen. Everything's good to go. Shit hot. As soon as I click go, internet goes in the hangar. But just got done turning one of my fighter jets here. We had a fuel leak and literally just walked in here to start our brief here. Okay, here we go. Real quick in my personal accounts, long SIL. Got some black rifle on with shares, covered call, cash secured put. I'm short Target and cash. I was short a bear call spread today that we sent out to the hunters, and the Max Afterburner group closed for $2,200 profit as the market sold off there. We're going to do a practical application of what we talk about tonight live tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern. Same link that you're using to get into this brief tonight, you will use tomorrow morning. This is how we do our full throttle training here at Top Gun Options. Demo do. It's how you learn to fly formation. It's how you learn to dogfight, drop bombs, do anything in the aircraft. Demonstrate and then go do. So we're going to talk about trading some volatility tonight, and then we're going to do it tomorrow. Tomorrow morning is going to be absolutely insanely volatile in the market, and we'll talk about why in a couple minutes. So join me tomorrow morning for the live trade brief. Going out to Aspen next week to do some skiing, but we have Goose and Bart, our other instructors, who are going to pick up the slack, but I'm going to be trading from the chairlift. If you're in the Hunters or the Lifetime group, which you can get access to tonight, you will get all my trades. Any other administrative items I need to cover? Nope, don't think so. Real quick, also next week, Bart, we have a brand new service here at Top Gun Options. It's called Tomcat Charts. This guy's your not cheesy, he's a good dude. F-14 Tomcat guy, graduated from Top Gun as well. Right there. He's a CMT, chartered market technician, was a CTA, commodity trade advisor. Barclays Hedge selected him as one of the top 5 FX traders on the freaking face of the planet, man. So he's going to teach. He's going to open up his brief next Wednesday at 1. Again, I'm going to be on the slopes, baby. But if you want to check out charting type of stuff, come check out Bart. I just put the link in the chat box. Free brief. His briefs are every Friday at 10, but he's going to do a marketing brief next Wednesday at 1. Okay, so it's called Tomcat Charts. Click on the link to register, and you can hang out with Bart and Goose next week. Mark, thank you, Wiz. While I didn't get the $2,200, I got $1,500, but got a better fill. 6 weeks ago, this would have been inconceivable. Thank you very much. You're a great instructor. Mark, I am going to steal that and show everybody what you just thought. Barry, we could talk about Amazon in a little bit. Jeff Bezos said he would never split the stock, and then there it is. So Mark is one of our brand new Lifetime members. He just posted that in the chat box. I'm going to steal that. If you logged in a little early, you saw me just cycling through some testimonials that I grab as people post them. So I'm going to save that real quick. Stock splits are for stupid people and people who don't understand math, but I get it. The stock goes up, people, it's the buyback that's really making the stock go up. But hang on, let me just grab this real quick, and then we'll get going. So how many of you, and let's just start with this. How many of you are having fun looking at that screen? The main reason I'm doing this emergency pop-up brief tonight and tomorrow is because my inbox is flooded. This cell phone is flooded. It's ringing off the hook. I love getting messages from buddies like, "Hey, Edward." My first name legally is Edward. The Navy called me Edward, and then grade school called me Edward. I love getting phone calls or messenger messages like, "Hey, Ed, I know we haven't talked since 4th grade, but what do I do with my 401k right now or my portfolio?" I know we haven't talked since 8th grade, is the bottom in the market in. This is pretty, it's pretty funny. So for the past year, ladies and gentlemen, you could have been an idiot and made money. Okay, that's what the market looked like. And we had some of these, and we had some of these, and we had some of these, but that's what it looked like. Why? 3 letters, FED, the Federal Reserve. Okay, shameless plug. I wrote a book called COVID Crash. We predicted the COVID crash, market implosion to the day. To the day. It was Donald Trump lying on CNBC in Davos, but I digress. Predicted it to the day, but we printed money as the market implodes. And then in March, what was it, March whatever, 22nd, something like that, when Jerome Powell, the Federal Reserve Chief, dropped the biggest financial nuclear weapon. I shouldn't use that term since we all might die from a nuclear weapon here shortly. And then the market never looked back. So my phone doesn't ring off the hook when markets just go straight up because everybody's smart. Everybody's a brilliant investor and trader, which is simply not the case. Now, in this market condition is where you see the brilliant traders and investors. Not saying I'm one of them, but I'm saying I'm one of them. So welcome aboard our volatility brief here. We're having a blast trading this market. Okay, volatility. Quick question. How many of you think, based on today's 800-point rip your face off rally, which ended up being a 700, which ended up running out of speed, how many of you think this is the bottom of the market? See you, brother. Thanks for everything, man. That's our mechanic. Say thanks. Thanks, bro. I appreciate it.
All right. See you tomorrow.
Yep. Safe travels, man. So not even close. I told him I had a webinar at 7 and I'd be in the briefing room and do not disturb, but he's a good dude. So not even close, man. Look at this stuff. Implosion, rip your face off rally, implosion, rip your face off rally. This is a target-rich environment. This is exactly what happens in bear markets. What did I post over in a lifetime here recently? Where is it? No proper bull market happens when you have 3% up and 3% daily moves during the same week. Right? Big asset allocators and risk parity funds need low volatility to marginally take more risks and support a sustained bull market. Folks, we, in my opinion, haven't even started to go down yet. Does anybody know what happened today or what stopped happening today? No, today was the last day. What was today the last day of? Who's going to get a gold star? Who's going to go get a gold star? What ended today? Buying Russian oil? Nope. Oh, a couple people did. Jesse, Michael, and Kathy. 3 correct answers. The Federal Reserve ended QE today. Quantitative easing. The Federal Reserve, ladies and gentlemen, has been pumping liquidity into the market for the past year or so. Year and a half. 2 years. 2 years. Oh my God, man. So what happens when the Fed takes away the punch bowl? Does anybody remember the last time the Fed took away the punch bowl? It's called a taper tantrum. Okay? And take a look at your screen. What's going on the screen right now is a lot of stuff, right? So we got some Russia, we got some war, we got some inflation, we got all sorts of stuff. This is a bubbling cauldron of badness or goodness if you're an options trader. You are looking at one of the only, or as far as I know, the only financial professional on the face of the planet that made this prediction. A year and a half ago, I said Joe Biden's sophomore year will be a shit show, a fecal display. It will be categorized by a bear market, check, got that the other day, and a recession, check. What are you talking about, Wiz? Secret. We are in a recession right now. If you don't know how recessions work, it takes the BLS or whatever department that calculates it like months to figure out we're in it. When the government announces a recession, they don't go, all right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. As of 8:01 this morning, we're in a recession. They come out and say, well, we entered a recession about 6 months ago. We're in it. So not only did I predict the COVID crash, I predicted that we'd be in a bear market this year and a recession. Now, since I am taking a victory lap, what are we going to do about it, Wiz? We are going to absolutely print money. We're going to print money on these swings, up and down. How can we do that? If I don't know which direction the market is going to go, right? Although today was pretty damn good. How did we make out today? Men lie, numbers don't. This is my personal account. At 1 o'clock this afternoon, at 1:01, I sent out a bear call spread on S&P 500 to the lifetime members and the whatchamacallits and the hunters, and that thing closed for $2,200 today in 3 hours. That was a good looking trade. That was like stealing candy from a baby. Look at today's market action. There's 1 o'clock, and we sold off into the close. This is not to be sustained, folks. What is going to happen tomorrow morning? Did you see Jen Psaki, Peppermint Patty, kind of prep the battlefield this afternoon? Tomorrow morning, ladies and gentlemen, we get CPI right here. Peppermint Patty said, we think it's going to be pretty hot. You mean hotter than the last one that is at a 40-year high? Raging inflation. Absolutely raging inflation. Raging high oil prices, raging inflation, raging wheat prices, war in Europe. Taiwan's going to be taken over by China. Everything is absolutely fantastic, right? If you listen to the State of the Union address, if you landed from Mars and watched that State of the Union address, you'd be like, oh my God, everything's fantastic. But this guy apparently needs more money to make things even more fantastic. Sure, let's give it to him. So, folks, and here's why I know tomorrow's going to be even more volatile. I'm starting to hear some market participants who are searching for a bottom to say, well, I think Jerome Powell isn't going to raise interest rates because of high oil and war in Europe and all sorts of stuff. Are you insane? If you're betting on a market rally that the Fed isn't going to raise interest rates because people are dying and oil's raging and all sorts of badness, you're insane. So I predicted also a year and a half ago, at the bottom of that market, I said, stop QE and raise rates right now. Start landing the airplane. Nope. Jerome Powell put us into a nosedive, went full power. The engine's caught on fire. The wings ripped off and just came up over the intercom like, everything's looking good and we're going to be landing nicely here. We're doomed. This market is doomed. We have a major recession coming. We're in a bear market technically right now, and it's going to go lower. We haven't even started to go lower. All right. So that's kind of my strategic mindset right now, is absolutely insane volatility. Look over here in the handout section over on your control panel on the right, because I gave you a free copy of my trade plans. Okay. It says handouts. Gave you like 2 copies of my handouts. Because if you're not trading with a trade plan, you're insane. Okay. And it's funny because I hear some professional traders sometimes like, oh, you have to trade with a plan. And I'm like, can I see a copy of yours? You're like, okay, next question. So anyway, there's my trade plan. So starting with step 1 in our trade plan, define your strategic mindset. There's only 4 strategic mindsets you can have: bullish, bearish, volatile, or neutral. Where do you think we are right now, man? Absolutely volatile markets. You're going to see these 3% up days. You're going to see these 3% down days. So what is our altimeter, our barometer, whatever you want to call it, of uncertainty? It's called the VIX. It's called the Volatility Index. Let's go take a look at this. Now, if you want to use the word VIX or volatility and sound smart at cocktail parties, knock yourself out. But if you don't like the word volatility, just put in the word uncertainty. Take a look at what the VIX does. Now, the VIX is something that reverts to its mean, right? Meaning it's like a heart rate monitor. It's not a stock. Stocks do this. Some stocks go up and to the right. The VIX does what? Freak out. Okay, it's gone. No, it's back. No, it's gone. Freak out. No, it isn't. So it reverts to what I call its resting heart rate. Okay. So one of the rules of volatility I want you to write down right now is when volatility is cheap, you buy it. Okay. When volatility is cheap, you buy it. When volatility is expensive, you sell it. Of course, we'll repeat that. When volatility is cheap, buy it. When volatility is expensive, you sell it. Now, take a look at recently what's going on. Volatility is remaining elevated. Let's just go into 6 months here. So as you can see, recent freakouts, holy crap, okay, it's gone. No, it's back. This one is staying elevated. The uncertainty index is staying elevated. Why? Oh, I don't know. Maybe we're all going to get vaporized in a nuclear war. Absolute horror in Eastern Europe. Don't worry about it. We got Joe, Kamala, and Mayor Pete. You don't like high gas prices? Go buy a Tesla. Did you see the guy that runs the Tesla company say we need to drill for more oil? You live in bizarro world. When the guy who says, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but we should probably get more oil going, and then the other people say, no, we're not going to get more oil going, or if we do, we're going to buy it from countries who hate us. Like the one that screams death to America, we're going to go buy more oil from them. Yeah, okay, that's great. So I wonder why the volatility index is elevated and is remaining elevated. Well, because we have a clown car going on in the world. So look at these massive intraday swings in volatility. There's a couple ways to trade volatility. We're going to talk about dogfighting volatility tonight, meaning you can do two things, right? You can have two types of trades on, up and down with volatility, and you can have them on at the exact same time. I've had what we call dueling volatility trades on, right? And we actually have them over in our model portfolio right now. Let me go pull that portfolio up. Do I have that up right now? Nope. So dueling volatility trades means, hey man, I have no idea what's going to happen. Between now and Friday, for example, tomorrow morning we could get blistering hot CPI. We get blistering hot CPI tomorrow, the market should implode. Why? Because Jerome Powell ain't going to not raise because of war in Europe. He has to raise interest rates. Let me go take a look at this. Here we go. So we have dueling volatility trades on right now. I have a bullish volatility trade and a bearish volatility trade. Why? Because they are going to go up and down and make money. Both of them will. Just looking at the market, that's exactly what has been happening. Volatility goes up, volatility goes down. Now, this is how it's going to be for the foreseeable future. I will tell you that you should have a buy with both hands list ready to go. Hopefully, I pray to God there's some sort of peace with Ukraine. Zelensky, all right, we're not going to join NATO, and you can have Crimea, but the other places we want back. Whatever it looks like, this has got to end. Listening to the Ukrainian folks talk, though, they're like, we're not giving Russia anything they want. If you had time yesterday and you invested it wisely, you listened to the deep state intelligence apparatchik brief. Did you see them yesterday? The DNI, the director of national intelligence, the head of the CIA, the head of the five families, Barzini, Tatalius, they said what? Putin will not back down. As a matter of fact, Putin will double down. He can't take an L. He's taking an L right now. This might end up what NASA calls a successful failure. He might take Ukraine and he's going to fail. Here's what I'm getting at. Things are going to get a lot worse, in my personal opinion, before they get better. Okay? So we're going to see a lot more of these types of days. So let's talk about how to potentially trade these up and down days. David, up, down, thanks for confirming this. I've been doing this for about a week and it has been working well. I find you need to find the midpoint of the swing to buy the put and the call. So a couple things to do, folks. If you think volatility is going to spike. The easiest thing you can do as an options trader, now we're looking at an options chain here, is pick a day that you think volatility is either going to go up or down by, right? What's today's date? The 9th. So that was today, the 11th, 18th. So you could go out to next Friday, right? Let's just open up the options chain here. Let's do 40 strikes. What did the VIX close at? 33 bucks the VIX closed at today. Let's go up to 33 here. Wow. Holy crap. Hang on a second, man. Look at the upside calls. Here's where the VIX closed today. Look at the, wow, 91,000, 58,000. I'm going to go even higher. Hang on a second. There are a lot. I'm going to click all. Let's go even higher than those. Holy crap. Look at this, folks, right here. 111,080 with a VIX at 70 or 75. There are people saying by next Friday, the VIX doubles. I don't want to go back to the chart, but you can imagine that's what that looks like. Wow. Let's go even higher than that. I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen stuff like this. Last time I saw the VIX pricing like this was 2008. I was in the Chicago Board of Trade, the Chicago Board Options Exchange at ground zero in the financial crisis. But look at these people betting on a VIX at 100, 120, 80. Wow. Now, I got to be an honest instructor here. Is what? Yeah, exactly, kid. That's that's a week and a half to expiration, 6 days to expiration. Again, this is when my phone starts ringing off the hook. When these I got buddies who manage these long only funds who are like, dude, what do I do options wise right now to protect my longs? Well, you should have gotten out of them before. You should have called me a long time before. You should have bought puts on these. But anyway, buy some VIX calls, man. And then they sound smart in their perspectives or when they talk to their investors. So if you believe between now and next Friday, like a shitload of these people believe that the VIX is going to pop, you could go out there and buy. What's realistic? Let's go take a look at the chart. To be honest with you, I don't know what's realistic because I don't know what's going to happen. My call sign is Wiz, not Nostradamus. The Russians blowing up a maternity hospital ain't a good look. Does he encircle these cities? Is it a siege? I just don't know, man. That's whenever you hear me say the words, I don't know, that's volatility. So if you don't know, you could just simply buy some calls out the next Friday. The VIX topped out at what recently? That spike right there, 38. Is there a 38 strike? Probably. Let me close some of these strikes down. Let's just go 16. There's a 37.5. You could just buy calls, right? The easiest thing to do if you're new to options, if you signed on to this brief, like, dude, I don't know anything about options. Here is an insurance policy. Buying 10 of next Friday's 37.5 calls. You'd spend $1,000. How much can I make? Infinity. The hell's that mean? If the VIX spikes up to 50 by next week, you make a shitload of money, right? When you buy calls, you are unlimited upside. Carl, I can't even believe we saw that yesterday. The director of national intelligence, so little Marco Rubio from down here in South Florida, said what? There are biological research. I didn't say weapons. I said research. There are biological research facilities in Ukraine that we might have some interest in. Wow. So scandemic, plandemic, whatever you call it, COVID over. Now we got war. Now we're going to have another scandemic or whatever. Something escapes out of a lab in Ukraine. Great. Now, for every buyer, there's a seller, ladies and gentlemen. So if you think that the VIX is going to spike out the next Friday, somebody on the other side of this trade said what? You're high. You're insane. We have peace by next Friday. Volatility is going to implode. There's somebody on the other side of your trade. Now let's pretend that if you believe, and remember, we can do both of these things right now. You can buy those calls between now and next Friday. I think the VIX is going to spike on something. Fill in the blank why. But what if you're over on this side? Nope. With Putin, they're going to give him an off-ramp by next. Remember, folks, let's go take a look at the S&P 500 yesterday. Did you see there was a bull market yesterday for an hour? An hour is a lifetime in this market. Let me pull up a 3-day chart here. What happened yesterday? This was comical. We're all going to die. We're all going to die. Peace broke out. No, we're all going to die. Look at that hour-long bull market. If you were trading volatility yesterday, like we were, you printed money. Volatility crashed and then went up. This is like shooting fish in a barrel right there. So, an hour is a lifetime in this market. Breaking news, something bad happened. Breaking news, something good happened. So you can be in and out of these type of trades, but let's be happy. Between now and next Friday, Vladimir Putin gets an off-ramp. There's peace in Ukraine. Boom. I don't care what Jerome Powell is going to do next week. This will be a relief rally. Volatility will implode. So why don't you go out the next Friday and also have some puts on? Where? I don't know. What's the middle of this chop? 25. Maybe you buy, and these are cheap out the next Friday. Look at these 20. Holy crap, man. The fact that these, let's talk a little bit about skew and imbalance here. There are a lot. Look at this. This is the market. This tells you how much volatility. Look at this, man. This is the inverted part of that. Look at all the put buyers on the VIX that are saying volatility is going to implode. Unbelievable. Look at that. That's awesome. So that's options basic 101. Buying calls or buying puts. I'm going to transition, and we're going to do this tomorrow live in the market, man, at 10 a.m. Because you're going to see, based on the two trades I have on volatility. So look at these two trades we have on in I think this is our primary portfolio. This, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call a bull put spread. This means that I think volatility is going to go up between now and Friday. This is the expiration for Friday. This trade that I placed today it's risking $5,700 to potentially make $1,800 by Friday. Using at the money volatility at market close, there's a 76% probability of making the $1,800. This is a bullish volatility trade out to Friday. I also have a bearish volatility trade out to Friday. Now this one is the 27 and a half. Okay. Now this one's a little underwater. Okay. Because what? Volatility is staying elevated. But I have both of these on. I could have closed this one yesterday when we had that parabolic bull market. The bottom's in. No, it's not. I told the hunters and the lifetime members to close it out. But since this is my training account, I'm keeping it on to show, especially for tomorrow, for folks who aren't in our full throttle program, how we can dogfight this volatility. Tomorrow morning, I absolutely believe that this bullish volatility trade is going to print money. Why? Because the market's going to implode. Okay? The puts that I showed were for March 22nd. Remember, folks, see, somebody's new to options. Whenever you see on this trading platform, let me go back to the VIX. When you see March and just a year, that isn't a day, folks. That is March and the third Friday of the month, folks. 1, 2, 3. The March 22 on the screen options expire on March 18th. When you see a month and a day and a year, it's on that day. Okay? So options basics, we'll cover that in our full throttle training. Now, let's talk about doing a potential spread. Now, there are a whole host of reasons why I don't do spreads on VIX. You will learn that in full throttle. I'll give you a multi-page briefing document on this. We can do what are called spreads. Right now, I have those two spreads on that I just showed you. One's down here at 25 and one's up here at like 27 and a half. Okay. But as you can see, with these down, up, down, up movements, you can what I call dog fight these trades. When one's profitable, the other one's red, close the profitable one. The next day, I guarantee you, the other one's going to be profitable, and you can put on a new one. That's what we down, up, do. Look at this. Look at these chop, that massive chop, up, down. This is a target-rich environment. As opposed to, look at this. This was a smooth one. This isn't smooth right now. We are literally going from headline to headline to headline to headline to headline to headline. And we're going to go like that for the foreseeable future. So you can put on what we call spreads, right? We can put on spreads. So how? Let me just do a little sorcery here. Let's go out to Friday. This is an ETF, right? ETN. It's the Barclays short-term VIX thing. It's a good vehicle for trading the volatility index, VIX, or trading volatility. So let's go out to Friday. The VXX closed right around 27. Let's take a look at what the options market believes VXX is going to be trading in between by Friday. It's called a straddle. Let me click on straddle. I'm going to sell this, so I'm going to make sure I have the March 11 expiration. So VXX, ladies and gentlemen, let me collapse this a little bit. The options market is saying that, you see this Elizabeth Warren TP right here? That green area. The options market, you can look over here, is saying the VXX should be trading between 25 and 29 bucks by Friday. That's a big at the money straddle, and that kind of makes sense. But if you wanted to, and we'll do this again, demo tonight, do in the market tomorrow. I'll show you tomorrow. We'll put on trades that match this strategic mindset and these tactics. Okay? So let's actually, I know the market's closed, but we can start kind of taking a look at those spreads now. You do not put an order in these for tonight or anything like that, because like I said, tomorrow morning, ladies and gentlemen, at 0830, the CPI is going to come out. Let's take a look. Just look at the chart, man. Inflation is on fire, and it's staying elevated. If Peppermint Patty says, yeah, we expect inflation to kind of be hot tomorrow, it's hotter than what they're telling us. Okay? So I think inflation hot, market down. I could be wrong. She could be. I doubt she's wrong. She knows what the numbers are going to be for tomorrow. Okay? When we get hot inflation tomorrow, Jerome Powell, ladies and gentlemen, the last CPI print that was at a 40-year high. If the man was doing his job, he would have had an emergency Fed meeting and raised a full point. The fact that we're pussyfooting around with 25 basis points is insane. Now, I'm not going to get into some political science math here, but even a quarter basis point in the interest rate makes us even more broke. Does everybody understand that? Our country's bankrupt and broke, and interest rates going up makes us more broker. It's insane. Joe Biden, we need to spend more. Okay. In a moment of rare clarity, like 6 months ago, he admitted, he's like, yeah, I think kind of all this COVID relief bill and bullshit pork that we blew into the economy probably juiced inflation. You think? Then somebody quickly changed the words on the teleprompter to say that wasn't true. We do need Paul Volcker right now. He was awesome. The dude did his job. And if you listen to Jerome Powell's testimony last week, when somebody cornered him and said, hey, man, or it was Senator Shelby from Alabama. He said, hey, Volcker did X, Y, and Z. He stepped up and was the man on the scene that, however he said it. And he asked him, he's like, are you going to be like that? And he says, I hope when history looks back on this, yes. Meaning Jerome Powell is going to do his job. So if you're thinking that war in Europe is going to keep you safe from rising interest rates, you're insane. So why am I rambling about that? Because I think volatility goes up and the market goes down. Remember, they have an inverse relationship. I should have led with that, right? Overlay the S&P 500 with the VIX. Okay, well, that's a bad chart, but trust me, when the market goes up, 80% of the time, volatility tends to come down. 20% of the time, this is a very important learning point with volatility, folks, 80-20. 80% of the time, the VIX goes up when the market goes down. But this is where you really need to pay attention. 20% of the time, the VIX goes up when the market goes up. Now, this is a little wizism I want you to write down. Market up, VIX up, something is up. Market up, VIX up, something is up. That's what I usually call a hold your nose rally. Like people are like, you know what? I'm bidding the market higher, but I don't believe it. I'm going to go get me some protection. It's called a hold your nose rally. There are days when people, and I love when I teach people this, or like in the chat box, like, Wiz, market's up, VIX is up. I'm like, yep, something is up. 20% of the time, when you see that, that's when you can come in and take a sniper shot, because it's not a believable rally, right? So I'm going to teach you all this stuff in the Full Throttle training program to scan this cockpit, to set up your trading cockpit to look at all these things, right? I believe it, man. The Fed's trying to. Would it be great? Would it be awesome if we could all just print our own money? Can you believe our government can do this? Hannah, I don't disagree. Hannah says no one cares about the deficit or else they won't get elected again. Yeah, exactly, Paul Ryan. I can't stand Republicans either, guys. Don't get me wrong. Everybody's a fiscal hawk when they're not in the party in power, right? Even Trump. I couldn't stand with the deficit spending and stuff like that. Are we going to be Russia someday, not invading other countries and killing people, even though we did in Iraq and Afghanistan? Are we going to be Russia and wake up and say, you know what, we're just broke. Everything's at zero. The debt's at zero. We're starting again. You got a problem with that? We're going to invade your country. Under Barack Hussein Obama, the United States of America lost our AAA credit rating. Do you remember that? I do. We lost our AAA credit rating because this country is bankrupt, but nobody cares. So we could do some spreads. We will tomorrow live in the market because we have to see what the CPI print is going to be. If it's raging hot, the market, this is awesome. This is why we put on the bullish and bearish spreads on volatility. But remember, tomorrow's Thursday. By Friday, something completely different is going to happen. Okay, I guarantee you it's going to be. Now, we had back here, we can have, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4 days, rip your face off rally. 1, 2, they're getting less. 1, 4, 2, 1. Until I tell you otherwise, folks, I've been doing this for 32 years. Over 3 decades I've been trading, man. Do not buy any of these dips. Sell the rips. Like I just showed you in my personal account this afternoon at 1 o'clock. I'm like, this thing's going to roll over. And it did. $2,200. Sell into every rip. You will know up the bottom. The short-term bottom is going to come when Zelensky caves. Doesn't sound like he's going to cave, but he's also kind of living and listening to his own PR. If you have the ability to stop people from dying and kind of, why wouldn't he lie? Well, that's awful, Wiz. We lied. Why aren't we helping Ukraine right now? you can look to Bill Clinton, because Bill Clinton's a liar. I mean, that's not breaking news. Bill Clinton in 1994 with Tony Blair signed an agreement with Ukraine that said what? Hey, man, you give up your nukes, you give the nukes back to Russia. This ain't going to happen, but we'll put it on paper anyway. It's not going to happen, but let's at least put it on paper. But if you give up your nukes and Russia comes after you, we'll defend you. You believed us? So why doesn't the dude lie now? Like, okay, no NATO, we won't join NATO, and then just end it, get him out there, and then be like, okay, I lied. We are just an awful country. Our word can't be trusted. Look at Afghanistan, Bagram Air Base. We left in the middle of the night. Our allies came into work the next day. Where's America? Hell, we didn't even tell U.S. citizens we were leaving. You believe us? Zelensky should get some peace, man. Unbelievable. Goose, a squeeze often pushes up the VIX or holds it from dumping due to panic buying to cover the. Exactly. So this was a squeeze today, man. And I posted that this was a short squeeze. Remember, when people short the market, meaning you believe it's going to go down, if it goes up a little bit, even if it goes up an inch, you're getting destroyed. Being short something is extremely dangerous. That's why we don't do it. We use options to be short something or bearish. But this was a short squeeze today. All of these were short squeezes, and they end. How do you get out of a short? You actually have to buy something, which makes it go up. It's like counterintuitive, but it isn't. So these end up being short squeezes, and they end up being short-lived. So this is an extremely volatile environment to be trading, and it's also awesome to be trading. Why? On your screen, ladies and gentlemen, right now is what? A hurricane. I'm in South Florida. We're used to it. When there ain't no hurricanes and it's not hurricane season, you can buy hurricane insurance pretty damn cheap. The worst time to buy hurricane insurance is when you see on the news there's a tropical depression over the Bahamas. It's a little late. You can buy it, but it's going to cost you an arm and a leg. That's all this is. It's the same mindset. Hurricane insurance. The storm's here, folks. That's why you're looking at options premiums through the roof, right? But in this type of environment, as we started this brief with, when volatility is elevated, you want to be a seller of options. That's why I have on these two spreads. These are called credit spreads, right? We got paid to do these trades. You want to be a seller of options in these types of trades, okay? And I'm going to show you tomorrow morning. We're going to put on two new trades tomorrow morning that are volatility trades, okay? Oh, I forgot about this one. I sent this one out as well. This was another bear call spread today. We did this bear call spread as well. I sent this one out to our list. I did the 43.10, 43.15. And that one made a max profit at the market close of $3,900. So $3,900 in this portfolio plus the, what was that, 2,200 in my personal account. You could have potentially made on those two trades $6,100 today trading the S&P 500. This thing is going down, and then it's going to go up, and then it's going to go down. 42.50. We're heading back down to 42.50 easily tomorrow morning. Keep your popcorn ready for the CPI print. And then on Friday, man, it ain't over with. We have University of Michigan numbers, inflation expectations, and consumer. This is the big one. You see this little red folder or fire? High impact expected. Why? Because the University of Michigan does what? It asks 500 consumers what their level of how you doing is. How you doing? How are your current and future economic conditions? The University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment is a market moving report on Friday. Oh my God! Look at consumer sentiment. Look at that. It might actually be negative on Friday, especially with the Let's Go Brandon at the oil pumps. Wow. Maybe I should have closed my bearish volatility trade. I told men lie, numbers don't. I told everybody in the Max Afterburner and the Hunters to close the volatility trade. I kept it on in the training account for training. But that was good, man. That's good shit. Apparetic. Is that what it is? Ponch, confused. Applying the wrong method and tactics per the context. Apparetic. Knowing you are confused. We are apparetic. There you go. Ponch always keeps me honest with that stuff. William, when does China take Taiwan? I'm shocked they haven't taken it yet. When your enemy's like imploding, get out of the way and watch him implode, right? So watching Mumbles McBiden, actually, I'm sorry, he sent Kamala over to Europe. Everything's fine. I'd do it now. So we're going to have all sorts of economic embargoes against Russia, and then if China went against Taiwan right now, we're going to echo. How many of you can boycott everything that comes from China? None of you can. Just sitting around. I mean, I got to be honest with you. My L39 out here on the ramp, I ordered a Ukrainian decal because I have a red star on the tail. I'm kind of looking like an idiot flying around South Florida with a big red star on my tail. That's a little awful. But William, I think it's coming. It's coming. That we are going to. I don't know what G is waiting for, to be honest with you. We know that G asked Vlad to wait until the Olympics were over to invade. They knew it. They knew it. So yeah, and then the Biden administration gave China all the intel on Russia and the buildup and all their troops, and gave all the intel to China, saying, "Can you talk to Vlad?" And they went to Vlad and said, "Hey, look at all the intel that we got from the United States." So where's all the people that froth at the mouth about Trump with he had top secret stuff? Let me remind some of the folks who have no idea about anything with clearances or security or classified stuff. The President of the United States is the ultimate clearance authority. If the president says this isn't top secret, it's not top secret anymore. I love how stupid some people are. And you can't make it top secret after the president. I love how they're trying to go after him. Like, he has stopped. If the president, who's the ultimate classification authority, says, I'm going to talk about this, it ain't top secret anymore. That's what's so funny. People are dumb. Who's this? Goose. Wiz, I've just updated all the indices for Zone 5 and posted SPX and Tomcat charts. Oh, cool. Oh, that's from Bart. How come it says Goose? I think Bart logged in under, what's that say? Awesome. Hey, if you're in Tomcat charts, guys, go. Bart just uploaded all the stuff in Zone 5. Sorry, I'm taking airtime away from all the free people, but go over to Zone 5 here, folks. Bart just uploaded a ton of stuff. Let me read it. Wiz, I've just updated all the indices for Zone 5 and posted SPX and Tomcat charts. Recommend everyone take a peek, and we have finished sell patterns today. So down tomorrow is the probability, and it's a wave down, so it could accelerate to the downside. I'm technically challenged, so can't chat right now, but just ask everyone to take a peek and manage risk accordingly. Get some Bart. There you go. Sweet. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, this briefing ain't top secret. Yeah, you should definitely join Zone 5, man. It is the way to go. But I don't want to steal thunder. Yeah, Bart updated all this stuff, so go take a look. A Rivian post. So if you're in Zone 5, guys, go check out all the stuff that Bart has updated. It's next Wednesday. He's going to do a marketing brief next. If you're not a Tomcat Charts member, you can go check out his brief next Wednesday while I'm skiing, man, having a hot buttered rum. All right. Hey, real quick, tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., we are going to do we're going to trade Volatility live. Let me just give you this quick brief since the market's closed right now and I have 7 minutes left. Top Gun options, real quick. The way it's set up, here's a Chinese wall, China. Sometimes I miss the way he just said China. Chinese wall. We have a training arm of this organization where we have a service called Solo Amazon where we just trade. You ready for this? Amazon. People ask about the 20-for-1 split. Clearly, Jeff Bezos ain't the CEO anymore because he said he would never split the stock. Never say never. We also have Bart, who runs Tomcat Charts. and Full Throttle. On the other side of the wall, we actually have the execution. So once you're trained, you can go execute. We have two investment clubs. One's called the Hunters, and one is called Max Afterburner. And that is our lifetime group, pretty damn elite, good group of folks. It's better than any hedge fund I've seen in my entire life. That ain't bullshit. I've seen a lot of hedge funds. I've seen a lot of stupid people who run hedge funds. I've seen a lot of hedge funds blow up. We are the best hedge fund in the world. Why? We all trade our own money. When I helped run that multi-billion-dollar trading firm in Chicago, you know who traded their own money? The partners. How many of them were there? About 6. I was a limited partner. There was about 10 of us under them. So about 16 people in that firm traded their own money. We had about 600 traders. What's your give a shit meter when you trade other people's money? 0. Well, Wiz, I'm a registered investment advisor and I have a fiduciary responsibility. You're full of shit. You physically cannot care more about somebody else's money than themselves, unless they're kind of just mental, unless they're Joe Biden, they don't know where they are. So this is what we do here. So tonight, tomorrow, you can sign up. I'm opening up the doors briefly again because I give a shit about people, man. Paul, I am new. What service do I get to get the bear call spread? Paul, you need to join what is called the Hunters. So, but this is our Full Throttle program, man. The primary brief, 10 a.m. on Tuesdays, weekly options. We did today, Wednesday, 10 a.m. And then accelerated retirement. I'm going to open up tomorrow to the free folks here, but that's at 10 a.m. So solo and Tomcat charts are not included in Full Throttle. But the Full Throttle program, we actually just wrapped up doing 8 of these training sessions, man. You're going to get access to all of these versions. We just stopped. I think we did the last one last Tuesday night or something like that. But you get access to all of these folks to the Full Throttle training. You also get access to all the proprietary manuals, the primary, intermediate, and advanced manuals. So you get the training, you get the manuals. You got to watch the training, man, because somebody actually posted like, hey, how do I do a double vertical? I'm like, here's the link. Go watch the training. Here's how you do a double vertical. 8 of these briefs, folks. I think on each one of those training sessions, I went for like an hour and a half, man. If you don't know what a bear call spread is, you're going to learn in an hour and a half, man. And it's all recent. We just did this stuff, man. Yeah, you bet, Coleman. This is being recorded as well. I'll send out the replay to this when we get done. Folks, if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to be this guy. Okay? You should punch out of the market right now if you don't know what you're doing. If you don't sign up for Full Throttle, and I'll give you the link right now, go sit in cash. Cash is a trade right now, man. Okay? If you're a fund manager of your own fund, sit in cash. If you're a fund manager who only gets paid a bonus based on what you return, you have to go deploy your cash. You're not, man. Sit on your hands right now. Let me give you the link to this. If you want access to all that Full Throttle training stuff, it's only $2.95 a month. I just showed you 2 trades that I sent today, that I placed today, made $6,100. Men lie, trading platforms don't. $6,100 today. In my personal account, not just the trading account, just my personal account, my trade and my wife's account. My wife's account does better than mine. I'm not an idiot. It was $2,200. So let me break this down for you real quick. $295 a month. You get Full Throttle, everything that I just briefed you on. If you want access to everything I just briefed you on, plus every trade that I open, close instantly, and all the trades of all the other people that are in this group, there's currently 96 people in what we call the Hunters. Unbelievable group. A great group. It's a hell of a lot less expensive than a lifetime membership, but you don't get 1,000% of me. You get about half of me. But you get every trade that I post live instantaneously. You're not waiting for a text alert or an email alert or anything like that. So, Paul, whoever just asked, this is what you need to join. It's called the Hunters. Okay? Now, the Hunters used to be just $497 on its own. Why? Because I put trades in there that make like $2,200 in a day. A friend of mine once told me, Wiz, why is divorce expensive? I'm like, why? It's worth it. So the Hunters is worth it. But I did my treatment recently coming back from Mexico. God hit me in the face. He said, dude, open up the doors. Things are about to get really ugly for people. So I'm putting down the letter. Instead of $7.94 for both of these things, I'm just going to give you for what the Hunters used to cost and full throttle. So for $4.97 a month, you're getting the monthly full throttle and access to the Hunters. Effing layup. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a no-brainer. Do it for a damn month. Tomorrow, those volatility trades by Friday could make about $5,000 individually. Try it for a month, man. Because I'm telling you, next Friday or next week, I'm in Aspen, man. I'll be on the ski lifts, posting all this stuff in the Hunters and the Max Afterburner, obviously. Now, the best deal, obviously, is on the damn screen. You get a 50% discount if you do an annual membership tonight, okay, or tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm doing this, guys, because, again, I'm not kidding when I tell you that this is when my phone blows up. This is when people want to learn how to trade options and do all this stuff. Don't get me wrong. I'm here, man. I just, but I don't answer the guy from 6th grade asking me about his portfolio. I send him the link to the brief. You know what? I didn't look at the attendees. David, if you're in here, sign up, man. I'm not a charity. I have a charity. It's to save veterans' lives. But my time is worth something. If you want to learn how to trade options, do it here. Hannah, is there a link for the Amazon group? I can give you the link to Solo Amazon if you want to sign up for that. Didn't think anybody asked about that, but Solo annual. I think that's it. It's $97 a month for Solo, or like $8.97 a year. You get a huge discount if you do the annual membership. So I can give you both of those. This is the annual membership for Solo. Hold on, I'm gonna Solo annual. Hold on, guys. Sorry. It's $97 a month. All right, so here's the. Nope, this is not part of Full Throttle. That's why it's called Solo Amazon. It's out there on its own. So that's Solo annual. If you're interested in the monthly, I'll get you the monthly. Hang on one second. It's Solo dash monthly. You would think I know all these things. I don't. Didn't think I'd be talking about Solo monthly. Hang on one second. Amazon. The hell is Solo Amazon link? It's 90. Do me a favor, if you want the monthly for Solo Amazon, just email support at Top Gun Options. I apologize, guys. I didn't think anybody asked about Solo Amazon because we're talking about this stuff. But that's the annual on the screen. Solo annual. And then like Solo dash monthly or something like that. No. A couple more questions. Yeah. Thanks, Liz. I'm a graduate of your programs and mentioned your name and TGO to Greg Capra, Dan Gibby, MTI, and Tom Busby. Oh, cool. Awesome. Teddy, no, Tomcat Charts is absolutely on its own. Jody, yeah, I will give you the replay to this. Yeah, guys, let me grab the Solo Amazon link. That's just unprofessional on my part, but I didn't think anybody was going to ask for that. TGO, let me get it. Amazon. Yeah, well, if you want to be in Solo Amazon, yes. Replay. Let me grab it here. 97. Solo dash Amazon dash monthly. My God, dude, you couldn't remember that? Solo dash Amazon dash monthly. I should have been because I'm spelling monthly wrong. Sorry, man. Hold on. All right, there we go. All right, here you go. Here's the solo Amazon monthly. Jesus, my apologies. $97 a month. 97. If you want to get your foot in the door and kind of see what I do here at Top Gun Options, this is your gateway drug. Check out Solo Amazon. We're going to have a lot to talk about in the next Solo Amazon, or actually Goose will, since he's going to be the instructor when I'm skiing here. But yeah. Hello, Wiz. Do your posts and hunters come as text or on mobile? Chris, we are getting an app set up, so the hunters, you will. It's either going to be Slack or Discord. So these are going to start coming on an app. So long answer, short question. The answer is yes. David, do you have any classes on how to set up an options trading as a business or classes? Yes, we do, David. We have a strategic partner with a firm called Traders Accounting, and I can hook you up with Raven. Raven will help you set up how to trade through an LLC. So the answer is yes. We can help you set that up. They are our strategic partner here. Let me just keep scrolling up here. Exactly. Yeah. It is a great deal. The hunters, like I said, on your screen right now, it's kind of what the hunters looks like. This is my instructor. This is the back of the house, what it looks like. Obviously, you would not see all this stuff. Some good commentary going on with the S&P trades, but this is good stuff, man. This is just awesome. Good stuff. Yeah, it's $295 for full throttle. You get 3 live trade briefs a week, the manuals, the 8 training sessions. You get text and email alerts based on the live trade briefs. If you want all of that and all of my stuff 24/7 live, that's the little bit of an upgrade there. That's $497. But man, I ain't no rocket surgeon. I'm just a political science major. 50% discount for the annual is a no-brainer. I just showed you with one trade today in my personal account that made $2,200. I essentially paid for your full throttle annual in, 3 hours. I sent that trade out at 1 p.m. 3 hours paid for your full throttle annual. That's a pretty damn good deal. All right, couple more questions. Sorry I went late by 5 minutes. You said the full annual program is 50% off. What is the price and does it? Yes, the Mazov. I'm sorry. I hopefully said your name wrong. It's correct. The price is $29.95. The regular price is $6,000. Maaz. Love that name. It's regularly $6,000. 50% discount. You get the hunters and full throttle. So that is where you want to go. David, last question. Don't you think if we try to stop China, they will cut off all exports to the U.S.? Absolutely, David. If we try and do any sort of economic embargo or sanctions like we're doing against Russia, Apple will see a 50% drop in a day. How do I know that? Because they will throw Apple out of China. They will ban iPhones in China. We saw this at the height of the financial crisis. Tim Cook put on a pair of knee pads, went to the White House, and begged Donald Trump not to do the next round of tariffs. I forget whenever it was. He went to lunch at the White House, and Trump came out Tim Cook came and kissed my ring. I'm not going to do these round of tariffs. I don't want to destroy Christmas. The Chinese foreign ministry actually said, they named companies. They said Apple. They're like, yeah, if this trade war gets worse, Apple's gone. I remember this, man. This ain't my first rodeo. So we do anything like we're doing to Russia against China, it's over with economically, man. And it'll be funny to watch people like Colin Kaepernick and LeBron James and Nike and all these other companies who kiss China's ass, what they're going to do. They're going to call them on the mat. They're going to be like, choose a side. And it's kind of sad to say, I guarantee you they most likely choose China. Israeli Air Force, shit hot, man. Join up. We'd have a lot of good stuff tonight. Teddy, thank you. Great as always, joining the hunters. Awesome, Teddy. Welcome aboard, man. Yeah, there's some good stuff. So there in the chat box, there you go. Teddy's joining the hunters. A lot of good stuff. All right, man. Again, sorry I went late. I love talking about this stuff. I am very passionate about what I do, man. You're going to see live in the market tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern how we do this. David, what's the link to your foundation? Top Gun Fighter Foundation is the link to the Top Gun Fighter Foundation. FIGA Foundation. It is Top Gun Fighter Foundation is the link to the foundation. We got a lot of breaking news with that stuff and what we're going to be we're doing. Scott, hi Wiz, coming back to the flight deck. Need some help getting back on the site. Scott, not sure what issues you need, man. Just shoot an email to support at Top Gun Options, and they should be able to hook you up. Got any questions about Lifetime or the Hunters? You can shoot Goose an email, goose@topgunoptions.com. I got to go, guys. Got to shut the hangar and put the jet to bed. Get a good night's sleep, man. Get up early, watch the CPI print at 8:30 and see how the market reacts. And then I'll see many of you at 10 a.m. And we're going to do some live trading. All right, guys, have a great rest of your night. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. Fights on and namaste. I'll see you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m.